Voters in 39 of the 50 states elect judges. It's one of the few ways that democracy can control the courts. But now there's a move to take this right away from the voting public. Paul Strand looks into what the impact would be.
Many who would don the black robes across the years of American history have first had to gain the voters' approval. But some in the legal elites would like to stop this practice. They say they'd do a better job themselves, picking judges based on merit. Critics say it would remove the democratic influence on the courts.
It removes basically any kind of participation of the American people in holding their judges accountable.
Jay Sekulow of the American Center for Law and Justice warns these elites are now waging a serious, well-funded campaign to take over the courts.
There's a movement right now to remove the whole vote of the American people for the selection of judges. I mean, this is a national momentum that's starting.
Leading critic Dan Perro warns that the idea of these selection committees filling court vacancies means a return to smoke-filled rooms where the influential, not the people, make the decisions.
It's an unaccountable, unelected body of individuals, 7, 8, varies from state to state. They meet behind closed doors. No one can come in, records aren't made public, and then they decide who the judicial nominees will be.
The elites say the judiciary would improve because they'd pick the best judges. Sekulow says studies show that's just not true.
There's no difference between the quality of judicial administration when you have merit selection versus the selection by individual citizens exercising the right to vote, and we should always protect the right to vote.
One of the main arguments for these selection committees and against voters electing judges is that if people have to campaign to become judges, then they, just like politicians, may end up beholden to special interest groups. But critics of these selection committees point out that the committees themselves are special interest groups, or made up of people who belong to other special interest groups, and also mostly belong to the legal elites, which are, generally, more liberal than the general public.
What you're going to end up with, very quickly and very clearly, is going to be a situation where those with a far left agenda will be the ones selected, and they'll be the ones recommended.
And so you'll get judges out of that who will lean to the left.
Because these committees always tend to select the ones with a liberal judicial philosophy. So it would not be Scalia and Thomas types, rather it would be justices far to the left of that.
A campaign this vast to shift the American judiciary to the left takes a massive amount of money, and someone's been willing to spend it. The ultra-left George Soros, the billionaire hedge fund manager, has been a key financial supporter. He spent more than $45 million through a Politico group, the ironically named Open Society Institute. Ironic because critics say its main mission here is to take the picking of judges out of the open and to put it into the back rooms, behind closed doors, through these merit selection commissions.
It's the George Soros and the ACLUs that want that kind of process, not those that share a conservative judicial philosophy. And we need to be really cautious and aware of exactly what's going on here as they're pouring tens of millions of dollars into this national campaign.
I believe in democracy, and I'm not for giving it up and turning it over to a bunch of unelected, unaccountable elites.
Paul Strand, CBN News.